excellent day for an exorcism.
I see dead people.
Suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
It's alive!
Fear on Film.
Hey, I'm Sean,
And I'm Joe,
and welcome to the podcast.
where we talk about fear, jump scares,
Gory kills, the brutal, the gruesome,
and the not so gruesome.
all in the disturbed and morbid love for horror.
Welcome back, folks, to Fear on Film, our monthly dive into horror. Alrighty, Sean, what do you say we get this show started? What's happened? How you been, man?
I've been good. Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to all of our listeners. There's probably like 12 or 15, but to all our listeners.
To all of them out there, I hope you're having a great New Year. I hope you had a great holiday. I hope everybody's safe and happy and watching horror.
Absolutely, and it looks like it's unfolding into a really interesting year. It really is, but we'll get back to that in a few. Before we continue, Sean, I want to make a statement here of something that I mentioned in our last episode, which it didn't sit too well with some of our listeners. Yeah, I was put on the asshole chair.
Oh no. What happened?
Well, I think it was in the course of discussing Old Boy. And Old Boy, wrong film. Good Boy. And I went on a mini rant on how I really dislike dogs. That they're stinky, they're smelly. I think you remember this. And I know you were sitting there quietly going, this motherfucker, I love dogs. Look, I love dogs. I love animals overall.
It's too late. No, the damage is done, Joseph. You said those words, and now you have to live with the repercussions.
I'm a dog hater for life, right? No, I love. I mean, I have a dog at home, and it's actually my son's dog, and she's a sweetheart, and so yeah. I mean, I'm just more of a cat person. That's all. I don't hate dogs. I don't want to see dogs. No, I like dogs. Okay, so I apologize.
Want to know that of the duo, it was Joe who is an absolute dog hater, and it's Sean who is a sweet-faced dog lover. So I just want people to, don't you mix your peanut butter up with my chocolate, okay?
Okay, so just wanted to state that. So let's move on from the controversy here.
Dude, I think it's hysterical, though. Like, who would have thought that saying that you're not a dog lover would incite such terrible hatred for you? I mean, it's basically like the number one thing you could say where people would be like, hey, fuck that guy.
It's like, let's cancel Joe. So hopefully y'all forgive me for that. But by the way, finally I saw the final episodes, finales and all for Stranger Things. What did you think?
Look, dude, who knew that this would become so divisive? I loved it. I've loved Stranger Things from season one. Look, I'm going to make this abundantly clear to our listeners and the public at large. I understand that there's a lot of discourse around that these kids are well past their high school age. And I am telling you, as a 57-year-old man who was in high school during the mid to late 80s, I went to class with 17-year-olds with full beards that looked like they had just crawled out of the trenches of World War I. I mean, these kids look so young and pristine and beautiful compared to the troglodytes that I went to high school with, myself included. So slow your roll, everybody. I get it. Like, they're 23, 28. I mean, Joe Keery might be 33. I don't even know how old these guys are. But in the 80s, trust me, these kids look like they rolled out of senior year graduation straight into like picking up the gold watch for their retirement. There were some aged looking people back then. So anyway, for what it's worth.
Yeah, I agree. The only complaint I had was the second to last episode where they were obviously filling time with, there was 3 scenes that were good scenes, were scenes that needed to be in, but Jesus Christ, man, they were like 5-10 minutes long and they just stretched out and it was annoying.
Oh, Joe, I think you're being very kind. I love the last season, but there were so many of those, like they were really stretching the taffy, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, oh, I have a confession to make. Oh, I didn't read this book. I only read the cliff notes. Oh, I have and this goes on for fucking ever. No wonder all that goop hardened and dried up, you know? And then, you know, the coming out scene, I get it, but 10 minutes, the world's about to fucking end. And you're going to gather everybody who's key to saving the world in one room where they could be doing something else. And so you got that whole 10-minute sequence.
Well, that's the thing is that you're like, oh, okay, we have a cast of, oh, man, trying to count real quick in my head. I don't know. It's an ensemble of, let's say, 9 people total. And then you're trying to give each and every one of them their hero moment and their closure. And then, you start doing the hard yards on that. And you're like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. And it kind of did, but I still loved it.
Oh, same here. I mean, the ending, was beautiful. I thought it was so sweet. It subverted everyone's expectations. Everybody was expecting people to die left and right, which just led to the conformity conspiracy that's going on, that there is a secret episode that's coming out that nobody knows of, that a bunch of people get killed. And it's a much more harsher ending.
Funniest thing in the world. That, like, I don't know where this started, but I'm telling you, people, the series is over.
Right, it's done. Let's move on. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. It was a great experience, and I do think that they kind of veered a little bit more and more away here and there. Overall, the overall tone from the 80s flavor and nostalgia feel to it. But I mean, seeing Nancy running around like Jennifer Grey from Red Dawn was fan-fucking-tastic.
Right?
Oh, man, she's my hero. She was fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And I'm just ready to move on, all the haters, all the conspiracists. And so get a life, please,
The only thing I'm upset about, and it's not even about Stranger Things, is that the Duffer Brothers pulled out of the Talisman. They were slated to tackle that, and I think they could have done such an incredible job. So I don't know, like we'll see what they're doing next, but that is a bummer.
That is, I remember that announced. I was stoked. Stephen King and the Duffers. I mean, that would have been fantastic.
Meanwhile, Mike Flanagan is like, yes, I'll take that one.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure he'll go that route. Now, okay, Sean, something I didn't mention to you beforehand in phone calls or pre-recording, and I just want to throw at you. We have somewhat of a mini anniversary. This is our 10th episode.
Look at that, and I didn't even get you anything.
Well, I did. Actually, I got you something.
Oh,
So I got some listener reviews, some fan reactions, some overall receptions for our show that we've been receiving. So we're going to go with a listener review, okay? This comes from a listener. His username is Poe Jr., and he writes, listening to Sean and Joe is like being in a conversation at the bar with good friends. I swear Sean has seen everything, and I love the respect he shows for old-time cinema. A relaxing and fun listen.
Poe, I'm not crying, you're crying. Whoa, that's so nice. Most people are like, this whinging windbag won't stop talking. So it's nice to hear something on the other side of that.
Yeah, no, there was a review along that line. I had to cut that one out. So anyway.
You didn't have to say that. You didn't have to tell me that.
No, nothing but positive stuff here. And so overall fan reactions, one listener noted that, building their own list of movies to watch based on our recommendation.
Oh, I love that. I mean, honestly, Joe, isn't that what it's all about? I mean, you and I, look, we're buddies. and we love to talk movies, and we have a passion for horror. But at the end of the day, I think it's also to really illuminate and amplify a lot of hidden gems that aren't on people's radar. So that thrills me. Love hearing that.
Absolutely. And then it goes further. Even, other fans have also created lists of movies to watch based on the reviews, discussions, and so forth. And they highlight the fact that it's a valuable source for discovering new and old horror flicks. So that's fantastic. I love to be able to, we're part of something like that to inspire the love for horror.
That's great. Oh, that honestly, you made my day. That is a fantastic present.
Absolutely. Now, most popular segments, the 70s Freaktacular. Yeah, people love it. We haven't done it in the last few episodes because we got these special episodes, but we will be returning back very soon to that. So my fright reviews, they've been described as brief, focused reviews on specific films, like Stone Creek Killer, Better Luck Than Chuck. So those have been very popular as well. Another aspect, the filmmaker interviews that I've done with some directors like Derry Shalito and Robert Enriquez.
Joe, I have to. This is for you. Everybody, Joe has been crushing it, not only with these incredible interviews, but you are doing what you're doing is you're shining a light on some up and coming filmmakers who really work hard at their craft. So I commend you for that, bud. I love watching those.
Thank you. And it's such an honor and a pleasure to meet all these filmmakers that are just, they have this passion and love for cinema, and it's just been a blessing. It really has.
There's some nice people too, it turns out,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, some reactions and general, overall takes on you, on me, and us as a team. Okay. And so for you, in a notable July episode, I think it was 2020, I think it was July episode, we talked about Megan. And so regarding that interaction of Megan 2.0, you were praised for your genuine curiosity when discussing the film's status as a queer icon, which listeners felt solidified with their role as and your role as a powerful ally in the horror community.
Well, look, I appreciate that. That means the world to me, but I have to give a special shout out to Brian Finnerty, who was the one who heard us talking about Megan, reached out to me and educated me and said, hey, are you even aware that Megan really is a queer horror icon? And then that opened up a conversation of more queer horror icons, which led to Brian creating a column for Macabre Daily. So this is just exponentially, it became something wonderful. And so, yeah, this is for Brian Finnerty, who is a great friend. And he's the one who deserves all the credit for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yourself for speaking out on behalf of the queer community in
horror. You're right. It's mostly me. I mean, honestly, it is mostly me. I'm a person. My mother was right. I'm a wonderful person.
You are. Your mama was right. Okay. So now, as far as myself, they've noted that my interviews with filmmakers, again, such as Enriquez and Shalito, for providing a fascinating look at independent filmmaking. So again, it's just my honor and pleasure.
That's what I'm talking about. But you are carving out this niche for yourself for doing this and for shining a light on these up and coming filmmakers. And I think this is just like the tip of the iceberg for you. This is actually, and I hope this is a prophecy that comes true. I do think that this is going to become the direction that you should and deserve to go in, where you get bigger and grander and more, diverse directors and casts and screenwriters. And then the studios take notice, and then you fire me, and you probably get somebody way younger and better looking.
No, never happened, buddy. Never happened. That last part. The others, I hope and pray that that would be fantastic. I mean, I love it. It's
bound to happen, Joe. You're too good at this. You're just too good at it.
I just do what I do. So takes on you and I as a team. Overall, fans find our collaborative efforts here dynamic, engaging, fun, and a major reason for listening to the show.
Oh, this is so nice.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, working with you, Sean, is so much fun. You're an absolute professional. You're
back at you, buddy.
And your ability to be ill prepared for our episodes is a highlight. of of my recording sessions with you. You are a
The
blast.
listener has no idea. Joe's like, "Do you have the intro?" I'm like, "What? We have an intro? What intro?" Every 10 episodes in, I have never been prepared, not once. People, the patience that Joe has for me, it can't be measured with modern science.
Well, it's just an absolute blast. I mean, the best decision I ever made was to reach out to you to team up with me on this show, and don't regret 1 minute of it. Even when you throw those massive curveballs at me, I'm sitting there going, this guy, and I love
Wait
it.
for the next freaktacular. I'm gonna mess you up, buddy.
And bottom line, overall, listeners of the podcast generally describe it as engaging, friendly, and a comprehensive discussion of horror. So I think we're doing something right, sir.
Look, all of the credit goes to you.
No,
Joe's the one who reached out to me, put it together, does the editing, does the scheduling. You do everything, bud. Everything. I just open my dumb, stupid old mouth, once a month. But I really want to give you all the credit in the world. You do a phenomenal job, and I mean that with all sincerity.
Oh, thank you. I seriously, I appreciate that. And thank you. And thank you to, all the listeners. We appreciate the feedback, and we hope to be able to bring you more fun content and some insight into horror, and hopefully you enjoy. So
Yeah, hopefully.
alrighty. So so there you go. That was our 10th anniversary breakdown. Or 10th episode anniversary. People think 10 years. How the fuck did that happen?
They're like, wow, I missed a lot of episodes.
Alrighty, so let's get into this. So 2025, it was a fucking blast.
Right?
Yeah, weapons and Final Destination and Sinners and et cetera, et cetera. It was a banger of a year. Now, will we see a repeat? I don't know. I mean, my prediction, and I'll get yours, we're going to see a lot of great stuff, and it's going to be a slamming year but I don't think we're going to reach that plateau of Sinners or Weapons. Who knows? Hopefully I'm wrong.
My take on it, and little asterisks, everyone. This is just my own opinion. Send hate mail to Sean O'Connor. I won't read it anyway. But I don't think we're going to get a repeat of 25. 25 was this. I don't want to call it an anomaly, because we do have years where major studio horror lands. 2025 was that year with Sinners and with Weapons, and with Final Destination Bloodlines, where we just had major studio fare that connected with audiences, made a ton of money, and this is the important part, they were really good, well-made films.
Yeah.
So that kind of, when you get that moment where those balloons rise, those massive hot air balloons rise, and everyone can see them on the horizon, and they're like, oh, that's what horror can do when a studio gets out of its own way and kind of writes a blank check. These are the kind of movies that we can get, and they all, specifically Weapons and Sinners, hit in 1 year. And 26, while it does have some major studios, Universal and Paramount, and we absolutely have major studios that are producing horror films. I don't see any that are going to land the way Weapons or Sinners did. And before everyone's like, oh, thanks so much for the bummer sandwich that I didn't order, Sean. That's okay, because I think the focus will go back to indie horror for 2026. And that's where things are insanely exciting. There are films on the slate for 26, smaller budget, super creative, independent films that could be massive hits. So this feels more like 24. I'm thinking, I'm kind of looking at you. We started the, Immaculate and Late Night with the Devil. We started that year with back-to-back indie horror hits, and Long Legs and films like that, smaller fare, And I think that's what 26 is going to bring us. So TBD, but I'm super excited for the smaller studios and distributors to get the focus this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, 2025. I mean, you had that trifecta of perfection of those three films, Weapons,
It was
Sinners, and
insane, Joe. It was crazy.
it was fantastic. And what I'm predicting is that, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I think 2025 was a solid 12.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get a 10 this year, which is still fucking phenomenal. I think it was the horror genre itself last year going, boom, we're here, we're back, and, we're here to stay, and we're going to blast it. And so now we're going to get into the steady flow of quality entertainment coming through and down the pipe. So I think, I think it's going to be a good year. It really is.
Oh, it's already started out to be a good year, a solid year with some really good creative films that, of course, they're not making a ton of money. They're getting some good press, but you could tell the vibe is quieter for the start of 26, and that's okay. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's kick this off. So, Sean, you're going to go first.
I have to ask one question. I'm just going to give you, we're doing our top 5, right?
Correct.
We're doing our top 5. Do I get a chance at the end to do like an honorable mention? Because I want to put as many films as possible on people's radar.
Oh, absolutely. That's what we're here for. We're going to,
okay, good.
I have my honorable mentions and additional films that are like, but they're there for consumption in the genre, for people to feed on. Alrighty, Sean, so let's kick this off. What is your number 5 most anticipated for 2026?
Okay, for 2026, we have this problem with the number 5 is the hardest one to choose from, Joe, because like number 1 is easy, but number 5, you're like, oh, I don't know if I put it this far back, but okay. I'm going to go with Evil Dead Burn.
Yes.
Sebastian Vanasek directed this bonkers, beautiful, fantastic, crazy spider terror film. Oh my God. And of course, I can't think of the friggin' name of it. It was Vermin was the French title, and I can't remember what the hell they called it in the States. But anyway, it's on Shudder. He's a director who has incredible visual style, but also because of this film, he also demonstrated that he worked really well in claustrophobic environments, tight spaces, which I really have no idea what Evil Dead Burn is about, but I'm thinking, if I'm going to use all the previous films as a blueprint, it's probably going to be close quarters, tight quarters, claustrophobic. Sebastian Vanasek, oh boy, can he work in that arena. I loved Lee Cronin's Evil Dead Rise. I thought it was just like everything that I wanted in an Evil Dead film. He delivered, and I'm kind of high on the supply of the Evil Dead right now. I think they really brought the franchise back. Not that there was, 2013's Evil Dead was really fun, super gory. I don't think that film gets enough credit, but it just like there was such a gap between Evil Dead films, and now I feel like, okay, this is, that film injected new life into the franchise. Let's see what Sebastian can do. And dude, my fingers are crossed. I think it's going to be brutal and bloody, and I think it's really going to be everything that everyone's looking for in an Evil Dead film.
Yeah, that's one I am definitely looking forward to that. I mean, the last Evil Dead, what was it? Evil Dead Rise.
Yep.
I loved it. I mean, and you have your signature, oh shit, kind of like special effect that just makes you cringe with the cheese grater.
Dios mío.
Yeah. And I think they're gonna bring in the goods for this one. I can't wait to see it. Part of me with the last one and in this one, I was kind of bummed that they didn't bring Bruce Campbell back. But you know what?
I know.
What they brought back was, okay, we're not going to go with what you're expecting, Bruce Campbell. You know what? I think it's great, especially in light of, we're in the legacy character era, where it's like, let's bring back the legacy character. And you know what? They didn't bow down to that trend. And, kudos to them. So, yeah, good pick, man. That's a good one. So my number 5.
Yeah, what do you got?
I'm going old school here, okay? This is connected to some old school shit, some classic old school shit. My number 5 is Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, That is a solid pick, my friend.
Oh man, directed by Steve Walsh, and basically what I love, they're keeping this anchored in the 80s, so you're gonna get some serious 80s vibes because it basically takes place 18 months after the events of the 1985 classic.
I think that's so smart, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. You know, they're riding on the 80s nostalgia train, which is still, it's not huge right now, but it's still there. And
Yeah.
they're going to continue that. And I think it's fantastic. I love and I adore the original. To me, my top two comedy zombie films of all time, The Return of the Living Dead and Night of the Creeps. You know, and this is fantastic. So I'm so stoked for this one. You know, there's only one trailer out for it, which is hilarious. I don't know if you've seen it. It gives away nothing. And you just see it, you hear Silent Night playing, and you see a snowy graveyard, and you see this one zombie dragging a Christmas tree through the graveyard.
It's the perfect, tells nothing, brings people back to the original. I think it was a perfect teaser.
Yeah, perfect. And that's all I want to see. And I can't wait to see the film. So yeah, and I think it's slated for November of this year. So that's mine. I just can't wait. So alrighty. So what is your number 4, Sean?
Dude, I was not expecting that. That is great. Okay. My number 4 this week became a real hot topic on social media, and that's Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I don't know if you're aware, Joe, but here's what happened. So you have to take this with a grain of salt, everyone. They're saying that The Mummy screened for James Wan and the producers, and the studio, and it did not fare well. So they're distancing. They changed the name already to The Resurrected. So it was Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Now it's going to come out as The Resurrected. Again, everyone just take this with a grain of salt. You know, there's what you read and the truth of the matter, and they could be light years apart. So the vibe is that it was horrifically bloody and gory. And Lee Cronin, when he took the gig, said, look, I'm going to make a mummy film that is going to really go there, and it's going to be unlike anything that you've ever seen. And I think maybe, again, this is just my stupid speculation, but I think maybe what is happening within the studio system and the distributors is that Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are committed to doing the next installment of the Mummy franchise, the Stephen Sommers Mummy franchise, which is less horror and more adventure.
Right.
Maybe that is kind of putting a fly in the ointment for Lee Cronin's Mummy, because this, and everyone's got to bear with me here and go in the way back machine. When 99's Mummy was trying to be made, they were trying to make a mummy movie for a decade previous, maybe even longer. I mean, it's like the stories of them trying to make the Mummy film are as insane, and everyone should check it out online. Read the stories about studios, the countless attempts to make a mummy movie. It's just as great as the countless attempts to make The Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I think what happened was Cronin takes this gig, and this feels very similar to back before the 99 film came out, when Clive Barker took a stab at the screenplay for The Mummy, and it was contemporary, and it was based in a Beverly Hills art gallery, and it was very sexual, and it was very graphic and bloody. And the studio, Universal, was like, "What? No."
Well, that gives me shades of The Hunger.
That's exactly right, Joe. That's perfect analogy.
Yeah, and that one didn't fare well when it first came out. So
no, I mean, eventually it found its audience and it's respected for the movie that it is. Look, when I hear something like this, I get so excited because tempt me with a good time when you say a film's too bloody, it's too graphic, and it's a Universal Monsters property.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So hear me out. Two things are going to happen. They're going to cut this movie within an inch of its life. We're probably not going to get the Lee Cronin's Mummy movie that he made. We're going to get some sort of bastardized version that's going to be released as The Resurrected. That's the bad news. The good news is maybe down the road, we do get an extended cut of what Lee Cronin has already filmed, And we see again, everybody bear with me because this is probably 10 years from now. So we do get that movie and it does come out. And then typically what happens is everyone says they should have released this back in
Hmm.
2026. Why
Hmm.
did we get the Resurrected? So it just makes for a fascinating story already. And I'm highly involved in what I'm going to see when this film eventually gets released.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting. I mean, this you said this is from Universal, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But it sounds interesting. I mean, I think it's a bad move to change the title to The Mummy, but I can see. I mean, from The
Horrible.
Mummy,
It's
but
just it's studio executives crapping their pants
yeah.
and cooler heads not prevailing, and I think it's so stupid. Dude, do I appreciate and understand that they have coming up on centuries old IP that they need to safeguard and take care of?
Mhm.
This is the gross part of what we talk about when there's so much money involved because we have theme parks and because we have merchandise and all these other facets to the Universal franchise. But the one thing that you want are some real kick-ass movies. So have some guts,
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, which brings me to my number 4, which is another Universal IP, but I don't think it's out of Universal. This is from an indie studio. My number 4 is Dracula, and that we spoke briefly before recording on this. Directed by Luc Besson, who gave us Leon the Professional and
Mhm.
La Femme Nikita.
Dude, I completely forgot that he directed that. I love that movie.
Yeah, he's I love his work on those 2 films. I was less enthused with The Fifth Element, and I've met a lot of people, talked to a lot of folks who love and adore that film. I couldn't stand it. It was beautiful to look at, but yeah, I mean, as we discussed earlier, Luc Besson lost his touch a long time ago,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate. Could he get it back in this? I don't know. I mean, he follows pretty much the same storyline of that Coppola did, with his Dracula film, where you follow him as he's this leader, this conqueror, and he, the whole story. His wife dies, he gets killed, he denounces God, and so forth. It looks interesting. It really does, and I still have a sliver of hope and faith in Besson that maybe he can pull this off. I mean, you got Christoph Waltz
I
as
love that.
yeah, and then you have as Dracula, Caleb Landry, who has a very unique face. I'm not saying the man's ugly. Please don't. I mean, I have enough problems already with the dog controversy already. So,
We're gonna get more hate mail, dude.
right. But he has a very unique face, and he doesn't have the classic sexy look to him. But I think he looks great as Dracula. Besson, really knows how to shoot a film. Even his films that didn't land, they're shot very well. And of course, Christoph Waltz, who I adore and I can't get enough of. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I will be going in when it comes out, going in with low expectations, and hopefully I'm proven wrong, and it really does deliver.
Yeah, we talked about this, but I haven't heard good things. I think I'm blaming Luc Besson completely. I think Christoph Waltz is going to walk away with some pretty good reviews because he
Hmm.
always brings so much personality and quirk, and this seems like a tailor-made role for him.
Hmm.
But I think Caleb Landry Jones is going to get the boots put to him because he is filming this almost. I mean, it's kind of like Luc Besson's Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. He's not doing any favors for Caleb Landry Jones because he's going to be compared immediately to Gary Oldman, and that's a bad beat, man. That's a tough act to follow to the point where it's kind of impossible. So I don't know. I feel bad for him because I don't think he's going to fare well in the reviews, and it's not his fault. I mean, this is the direction that this is what the director wanted to put on the screen. This is his vision. So yeah, I mean, Caleb Landry Jones is a great actor. I just think this isn't going to land for him, but we'll see, man. I haven't seen one frame of this other than the trailer. So what do I know? Let's watch the movie and we'll take it from there.
Again, I put it up on my list, kind of like, but because I do like Bassan for his original works, and so yeah, again, we'll see what happens with this one. So, Sean, what is your number 3?
Okay, this one's going to be crazy for me because I don't like any of the previous films, and that's Resident Evil from Zach Kreger. So, did I play the game until the skin fell from my thumbs? Absolutely. Love the Resident Evil video games. But other than the first film that had some great moments, I really don't like the franchise at all. Sorry, Mila Jovovich. You're wonderful. But, when it was announced that they were going to do another Resident Evil, I was like, you know,
Right.
then when Zach Kreger is like, "Oh no, I'm going to do it," and it's not going to follow any of the, it's going to follow the IP of the game, kind of in vibe, not, we don't have to do beat by beat, and I kind of love that.
Mhm.
That's the way to do it, where you're like, okay, look, we'll respect the property of Resident Evil, but let's not forget that it's not just the game. Like there were incredible manga novels written about it, and all there are different variations to Resident Evil, and I think it just as a story, it's incredibly interesting of a pharmaceutical company that is doing nefarious things that lead to some tragic consequences. I mean, what's more 2026 than that? So, you know, like I really can't wait to see what he does. And then you've got actors like Paul Walter Hauser and Austin Abrams and Zach Cherry involved. And I think that's fun. So I already love the cast. I love the director. I'm completely down to see what he does in this sandbox. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely one that I have on my radar. Zach Kreger. I mean, that's what attracted me to. I mean, another Resident like yourself. Well, I like the first two Resident Evil films. They were a lot of fun. I love the game. Like yourself, I played them till my fingers fell off. But when it was announced that Zach Kreger was attached to it, I'm like, okay. Not to say that the other director was not a smart director. He's a very smart man, I'm sure. But Zach Kreger is a thinking man's director. He throws in subtext and really interesting themes into his storyline, interweaving with his characters and narrative. So
Right?
yeah, and I just can't wait to see what he does with that. So yeah, it is. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it comes up on my list or not. But yeah, hot one. I love that pick. So my number 3 is The Bride.
I had it it's on my honorable mention, but
Oh.
it's on my honorable mention.
I mean, the trailer, it doesn't give away a lot. It gives away just enough. Just wets the beak to make you go, fuck, I can't wait to watch this. I mean, look at the cast. Jake Gyllenhaal, Jesse Buckley, who's going to totally smash it. Annette Bening, Penelope Cruz, Peter Sarsgaard. I mean, and, Maggie Gyllenhaal directing. This is a must. I mean, to me, it gives vibes of Tarantino's Pulp Fiction and Arthur Penn's 1967 classic Bonnie and Clyde. And it's also a musical from what I've heard. Now, there's my concern is that the trailer has yet to reveal that it is a musical. Could that be the studio sitting there going, Joker 2, Folie à Deux didn't do well because of the musical elements.
Yeah.
And so maybe they're cautious about it. I don't think they should. I mean, I think they got an amazing film. I mean, it looks amazing thus far. And throwing that it's a musical, I think it's going to be fantastic. But it does have me a little skittish that they're not really promoting the musical facet of this film. I'm so stoked. Every time I see the trailer, I've seen it tons of times, and I'm just there fist pumping in the air going, fuck yeah, I got to see this.
It looks great. I agree with you 100%. The Bonnie and Clyde vibes. I think the practical makeup is incredible. I think it's going to be unhinged. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if it's going to make a lick of sense. Again, you're 100% right that they're super avoiding the musical aspect of it because of the last Joker movie. That's just like, you talk about writing scathing articles for you if they were to come out and include those in the trailers. So I think it's smart for them not to do it,
Yeah.
even though it's misleading, because people are going to go there, and when they belt out into song, they're going to be like, "Wait, what?" you know,
Yeah.
do something crazy, and that's exactly what Maggie Gyllenhaal is doing, and I
Mhm.
think it's exciting. I don't know that it's going to work at all, but I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. And that one was pushed down. It was supposed to come out last November, I believe, but And that's always it could be a good thing or a bad thing when a studio does that, because they're like, yeah, this is not working. Let's reshoot and push.
That was the like black hole that was created by Joker, that they were like, oh no, we got a musical here, push it out.
Yeah, exactly. The further the distance from the Joker debacle, the better. But also it could mean they say, hey, we got something special here. Let's add a little bit more. Let's tighten it up and let's push it because we want to put out the best possible product possible. So
Yeah.
that could be it too. It could be it too. But yeah, definitely. So Sean, what is your number 2?
Okay, my number 2 is none other than Sam Raimi coming back to direct with Send Help with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. Look, I've watched this trailer. I broke my own rule, and I watched the trailer so many times because I cannot get enough Sam Raimi. And when he goes behind the camera, it's just so good. It's so much fun. He just has a style that I gravitate towards. I love that he is like he's never going to lose that childlike, wonder and fascination with combining humor and terror. And I don't think that there are enough creative filmmakers out there that really love to do it. Not saying that there aren't, directors out there that do it. There certainly are, but I don't think anybody does it better than Sam Raimi. It's all over the screen, at least in the trailer. I think Dylan O'Brien is just the quintessential dick boss, and he is nailing it. And Rachel McAdams is fantastic. I think this is a great role for her. And, look, absolute Elon Musk-esque cocksucker of a boss who gets stranded on a deserted island with the employee that they have been manipulating and abusing for years. And this is the perfect setup. I think people are going to love the hell out of this movie. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I really think it's going to be cathartic in 2026 to see a dick boss get his comeuppance. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I saw the trailer, and I love, Sam Raimi's predominantly known for his horror. And, I love when he steers away from the typical horror and goes more with the psychological thriller. This film kind of, like he did with, was it 1998's A Simple Plan?
So good.
Yeah, with Bill Paxton and Billy Bob Thornton. An amazing film. It's a suspense thriller. You got some elements of humor as well. Yeah. So this gives me vibes of that and of a movie that came out years ago called Swimming with Sharks. With that dirtbag Kevin Spacey, which was a damn good film. The dirtbag boss and the disgruntled employee getting revenge. So it kind of gives me vibes of that as well. And with Raimi's wicked dark sense of humor. So yeah, that's a damn good pick. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm really stoked for that one as well.
Can't wait. So Joe, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Psycho Killer. Directed, yes, Gavin Pallone, who directed 8mm. Now, I know this is not your thing. I know you've mentioned that this kind of like realistic serial killer, true crime kind of thing. It's not really your thing, but it's grounded a little too much in reality. Maybe I'm just a sick fuck, but I dig stuff like this. 7, one of my all-time favorites. 8mm. And then you got the producers and writers of Weapons and Barbarian involved. This is a winning combination for me. The trailer knocked me the fuck out. I had really intense goosebumps with its feel. Hopefully the film carries that feel as well. This whole 9 Inch Nails, industrial kind of gothic feel to it, or darkness. It looks intense.
It's on my honorable mention. I'm with you on this one. I can't love Georgina Campbell enough. I think she is one of the best scream queens that we have, and I don't think she gets enough credit. She was incredible in Barbarian. She's just such a great actor. So whenever she does something, I know that I'm going to like it, because she gives great performances. You've got Andrew Kevin Walker as the writer. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I know. Look, you're right. These movies, it's not that I don't like them. It's just that I'm the creature feature, nature run amok guy. That I gravitate more towards that. But you have these kind of actors and director and writer attached to this, and I'm like, oh, okay, yep, let's get it on.
Yeah. So that is my number 2. What is your number 1? Drum roll.
Okay. Brrr. I don't think it's going to surprise you, buddy. It's Hokum. It's Damian McCarthy's Hokum. Yeah. All right. We got Adam Scott. Okay. Well, first off, let me preface this by just letting everyone know, because Damian McCarthy is possibly my favorite horror director and screenwriter. He did Oddity and he did Caveat. So, I did look, there's a huge swath of listeners right now who are like, who with the what now? Just these movies are on Shudder. Again, Shudder doesn't pay us a dime. They honestly should just leave heaping bags of money in our driveways, Joe, because we're always mentioning them. But look, they're doing good work by putting good films on their site. Yeah. Damian McCarthy's movies are there. He's an Irish director. Hokum is his 2026 film. It's about a horror writer that visits an Irish inn to scatter his parents' ashes, and he's not aware that the property is said to be haunted by a witch. Super simple premise. You know me, Sean O'Connor. I can't hide the fact that I'm Irish, and of course I'm leaning into this. I love Adam Scott so much as well. So put him in a horror movie about a haunted inn that is cursed by a witch, and I'm there all day long, dude. This is going to be, I don't know if you saw the trailer. I watched it. I'll never watch it again. I'm back to my steadfast rule of one and done. I'm already making a bold statement saying that this is going to be the horror movie of the year. It comes out in March. There's so many horror movies that are going to come after this, but I'm putting all my chips on Hokum.
Yeah. Wow. That's a hell of a pick. Like yourself, I love Oddity. To me, that was my favorite of that year. Had we been doing the show for 2024, that would have hit my number 1 or 2. Caveat, an amazing film as well. McCarthy's an amazing director, and I love his vision. I love his tone. I love his pacing. He's not one of those directors that just hit you in the face with horror. He creeps up on you and catches you. And just grabs you. I love his work. And yeah, Hokum is definitely one that I'm looking forward to watch.
And Joe, if I could just say quick that he is also, he's exciting because he's part of this group of writer-directors. So they write their own films and they direct their own films. It's very similar to, Zach Kreger and Ryan Coogler. So when you have writer-director at the helm, it's exciting because it's completely their vision. They're completely in control of it. They have been since the inception of the idea. So it's, not to nerd out too late, or be corny, way, way too late. But when this happens with writer directors, I get really, really excited and over my skis immediately with it.
Yeah. Cause again, like you stated, you're going to get their vision, what they wrote on paper. Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
All right, what do you got for your number 1, dude?
All right, my number 1 is Zach Kreger's Resident Evil.
I knew it.
I love the simple concept. I mean, it's it's a courier who's sent to some hospital in a remote area somewhere with a package, and only to find himself at ground zero at this this outbreak. I love it. Keep it simple. Let's not go delve into the conspiracies and, the corporations and this and that. I mean, I'm sure you'll delve a little bit, but it seems more character driven and situation driven. Kreger, he's a smart director. Like I stated earlier, he puts in ideas and themes and concepts and subtext and stuff that make you think. And like I said, I love the original couple of films. They kind of veered away from the survival horror element, but I think he's going to give us something really exciting to watch.
It doesn't make sense on paper. You're like, wait, this is Resident Evil, and this is Zach Kreger who's just coming off weapons. Like, I don't get it, and that's what makes it incredibly exciting because it shouldn't be Zach Kreger. It should be someone who's just like, I don't know, made a couple of music videos and I played the game once or heard about it. Like someone who's just so bad and shouldn't be doing it. That's who they actually typically get. And then you kind of get like, all right, maybe it's fun-ish, but you get a B movie and it kind of sucks and you watch it on cable and you forget about it immediately. Now you've got someone like you're like, oh my god, is this going to
Mhm.
relaunch the franchise in a
Yep.
totally new direction? And this is going to be like one of the best movies of 2026? And I think the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this, like you said, this is something that typically the studio would go, who do we get to direct this? Ah, let's get McGee. Yeah, let's get him. He's, but no, they're getting a real, I don't want to talk, say that McGee is not a real director, but come on, Zach Krager, and it's not a choice that I would have expected the studio to go with. And it's
Don't worry,
fantastic.
McGee is rolling down Sunset in a Bentley right now. He did okay.
I'm sure he did. He listen, and if he listens to the podcast, he's like, yeah, I got my Bentley and I got my mansion. That's great, good for him. But yeah, I mean, I'm really stoked for this. Again, when I heard about it, I'm like, oh, another Resident Evil, and then they threw his name in there. I was like, oh shit, are you serious? This got to be an April Fool's joke.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, do we deserve this? Do we deserve such awesomeness?
I just can't wait for it, dude. So look, we only duplicated on one film. So we
Mhm.
gave everybody 9 films that are incredibly exciting for 2026. But dude, let's do our honorable mentions now because I think we've only scratched the surface. There are so many movies yet to come.
Absolutely. Now, I put this list together a couple weeks before, about a week or two before we recorded. So a couple of these I've already seen. So they're on my honorable mentions as well. So the first one for me is Primate, which I did get to see. It is out now. This movie had me at the edge of my seat. I went to see it by myself, so I didn't have my wife's hand to clutch on, but I squeezed the shit out of my own hands watching this. This was good old fashioned, nature run amok. It was incredible with an amazing 80s synth score that, along the lines of Carpenter and stuff, and Halloween
Yo,
and stuff.
along the lines, it's almost it's like when Vanilla Ice was like, "Nah, man, I didn't rip off David Bowie. His goes dun 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 dun, dun and mine goes dun 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 dun." It is a duplicate of some of the score, and it works beautifully. It works
It
beautifully.
It does. And so yeah, I was incredibly blown away. I mean, I came out, I mean, the director, Johannes Roberts, he did one of my other favorite films, 47 Meters Down, and which is so tension building and intense. And he does this here. I mean, I was kind of like, okay, when I first heard of the film, I'm like, oh, it looks interesting, kind of cute little monkey ripping people's faces off, fucking literally. This film, the gore, the practical effects, the simplicity of its set pieces, yet so effective. I'm giving my own review right now. It's fantastic. So I enjoyed that. That was one that I was looking forward to, and it was well deserved. Another one that I was looking forward to is 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
Same.
I'm going to be honest. I do have some reservations on it because the director, Nia DaCosta, I'm sure she's an amazing director, but she did the much maligned 2021's version of Candyman, and she directed The Marvels, which was total garbage. So I'm kind of concerned on that aspect, but maybe those two situations was where she was very bound and constrained by the studio making the film they wanted. So who knows? The trailers look great, so I'm looking forward to that. Whistle is another one that I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to watch it. I have one of those whistles at home right now. I went to Mexico City a year ago, and we picked one up. I haven't used it. I ain't fucking with that thing.
You get me one?
Yeah. Well, next time I go to Mexico, I will get you one for sure.
Oh, please. Look, no joke. I'll Venmo you. Definitely get me one, bud.
Oh, absolutely. And those things, well, we have not used it. We don't fuck with that.
No, don't fucking blow into it. What are you, crazy?
Another film I'm looking forward to is Werewolf from Robert Eggers and with Willem Dafoe. He, of course, we all know he did Nosferatu recently, which I know you didn't care much for. I liked it. I didn't think, I really enjoyed it. I love the cinematography, the storytelling, the acting. I thought it was fantastic. It was beautiful. And the undertone, just saw the trailer yesterday from A24 from our friend Chad Archibald. Looks fucking amazing. I can't wait. I mean, it looks creepy as hell. So that's way up on my list. Flowervale Street from Robert Mitchell, who did It Follows. with Anne Hathaway and Ian McGregor, being described as a poltergeist meets Stranger Things, but with a darker twist. Have not seen a frame of a trailer yet. I'm sold. It sounds amazing.
You know
And
what I love about the movie is that it's almost like I know this is a stretch, but it's almost like oh my god, it's one of my favorite films of all time, Adorados. Uh, um, uh, uh, Da- uh, Damien Rudna's Adorados, where it isn't the house that's haunted; it's the neighborhood.
yeah, I can't wait. And so that's way up on my list as well. And finally, We Bury the Dead, which I did get to see as well.
Same.
I did not care for it.
It was a drama that was cloaked in a horror movie. It wasn't a horror movie.
Exactly. And it's a fucked up breakup, let's find closure kind of film. And I think it was mismarketed. I mean, Daisy Ridley, she was phenomenal. The entire cast.
Beautiful to look at, some incredible shots, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. The third act comes apart. The drive for her, the like obsessive drive for her to find her husband when the third act, no spoilers, but let's just say when her journey culminates, it's so unsatisfying. And then
Yeah.
the last 10 minutes, it just feels like an add-on
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of like cure her ache. I don't know. It was weird and it didn't work. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I did this on a double bill yesterday. Did my double feature. And thank goodness I left Primate for second, because I was able to leave the movie theater going, yes, because I would have ended up on a down note. I mean, it has hit with a lot of people. They've enjoyed it. But for me, again, it was marketed as a zombie outbreak, contagion kind of film, and it's not that at all. There's maybe one sequence in there with a quote unquote zombie that had me going, oh shit, which is really effective. But
It's the best 30 seconds in the film. And
yeah,
when it ends, you're like, oh, it'd be great if there was more of that. And there
yeah,
is not.
yeah. So that rounds up my honorable mentions. What about yourself?
Okay, so you mentioned The Bride. Can't wait for that. You mentioned Werewolf. Look, werewolves are my jam. So if he does to werewolves what he did to Dracula with Nosferatu, Nosferatu with no, I'm gonna be so upset. But he's a director that I will always go see. So all right, Robert Eggers, my joke that I've been pounding into the ground is that if he does 45 minutes on the intrinsic use of vellum, in medieval times, at the sake of taking werewolf action away from us, this is just, I know the film has been shot or it's shooting now, but if I could just make a suggestion, just Robert Eggers, please watch Curse of the Werewolf and go more Oliver Reed and less whatever the fuck it is that you were doing in Nosferatu. Just lean into the brutality of the werewolf lycanthropy mythos and get out of your ass for 2 seconds and just make an entertaining film. Okay, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. It's over now. All right. So some of look, I cannot wait for a whistle. I can't wait for 20 years later. I'm with you. I'm cautiously optimistic it's going to be good. We'll see. It's really hard coming off of the vibe of Danny Boyles and going to a new director with a new vision. I don't know. But of course, I'll be there opening night. Okay. Primate, I absolutely loved. Everybody listening who has not seen Primate, go see Primate. It is a nasty, nasty little film. It is, Joe summed it up perfectly. It is an unhinged nature run amok movie. It is Cujo. It's 2026 Cujo.
Yeah.
But it is also very much the best Halloween movie in the franchise that is not a Halloween movie, because the chimpanzee, instead of being Michael Myers, is Benny Bananas, and is so terrifying that the Johannes Roberts, what he did, and I'm giving him credit. I'm sure there were many people involved in this decision, but the decision not to go CGI and put an actor into an incredible practical chimp suit, and this actor who portrays Ben the chimp if I were good at my job, I would know who it is, and I apologize that I don't. but they do such an incredible Andy Serkis-esque job
Mhm.
as the monkey that it cements the film. This is a wacko premise, and it shouldn't work. A chimpanzee gets rabies. No spoilers. You learn this in the title crawl in the beginning of the film. Chimpanzee gets rabies and systematically decimates a household. It is a one location movie. Some of the brutality of this monkey is there is a scene in the third act that is just, oh, you'll know it when you see it, people.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going back to see this movie again. 2026 started off weak with We Bury Our Dead, because I did see that as well first week of January, and I was like, womp womp. And then I rolled into Primate a week later, and I was like, oh, we got our mojo back. So, dude, I'm with you. Okay, really quick. Night Patrol, vampire, piece of shit cops. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Addams Family is back with Mother of Flies. It got such great word of mouth at the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival this past October. The Addams Family, they make good films. Go see Mother of Flies. Can't wait for that. 2 more from festivals. Sorry, 3 more from festivals that were getting super great word of mouth. Dolly from Rod Blackbird, I'm hearing, is kind of like a backwoods, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque vibe, like holy cow, yipes, yipes, yipes kind of film. Completely into that. The undertone I saw, Joe, so I'm not going to say anything until we talk about this later after you've seen it, okay?
Okay.
All I'm saying is that Chad Archibald, you sly devil. Ian Tosin is the one who directed that film. So Chad distributed and produced it, and Ian is the one who directed it. The undertone, yeah, I'll just leave it there. Ready or Not 2, can't wait for that. Did I mention Scream 7?
Not yet.
Scream 7's coming out. Look, there's a lot of backstory about, change of cast and, change of director. I don't know. We'll see. We'll watch the film and we'll see. Mike Flanagan's coming out with Clayface. This is a DC property, and they're saying that is going to be the first true horror movie in the superhero genre. So, DC or Marvel being the main houses there. We'll see. I think it's great. I think if it's a really good film and people go see it and it truly is a horror movie, I think then maybe we could start having conversations with Marvel about Werewolf by Night and Blade, and maybe we can get back on track with that, because I really loved Werewolf by Night, the one-off that they did that's on Disney Plus right now. I think that might be it. Oh, and dude, we talked about Psycho Killer. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for Whistle. Yeah. Dude, that's like 20 horror movies that we mentioned, and that's only what's on the slate. There's going to be 20 more that we don't even know about.
Yeah, and it's an Insidious tale. Return to Silent Hill.
Yeah,
it's going to be amazing. And also, hopefully, we get to see this before the end of the year. I recently did a review, and I got a special interview episode coming up very soon for a film called Up on the Housetop, which is a horror comedy. There's a short film on it right now. I'll put the link in the show notes for it. It's basically 4 siblings hanging out Christmas Eve at a cabin. They hear an intruder. They go down and they shoot the intruder and kill him. It turns out to be that it's Santa Claus. And so now they must face the wrath of 8 vicious, vengeance-filled reindeer who are out to kill them. And they have to survive the night for this.
I love everything about that, man.
It sounds amazing, from directors Dakota Millett and Michael Fisher. And I will have the interview out, I believe, tomorrow or within a couple of days. So check that out. Hopefully we get to see that before the end of the year. It is in development right now. Looks like they're about to go into production. So shout out to Dakota and Michael. Hopefully we get to see your film this year so that 26 can just be rounded off as an amazing year.
Love it. Love it, buddy. I mean, you're doing the good work.
All right. So there we go. We must have given our listeners, 30, 40 different titles for this year. Easily. That's amazing. That's, again, Will we hit that plateau of 2025? It doesn't seem like it. And not because these films are not good, but because the bar was set so high with Weapons and Sinners. But I think we're going to get an amazing horror year.
Again, I have no problem when it goes back to the smaller distributors and directors and indie directors. You know, they deserve all the credit in the world because they do really great films with a fraction of the budget. And that's kind of like, you know, that's the wheelhouse of horror. It typically is like, okay, a wing and a prayer kind of thing. And they do, you know, incredible work with limited resources. It feels like that type of year, but we're going to see. We have some major studios. We've got Send Help and The Mummy and Evil Dead Burn and Resident Evil. There's other movies like, I forgot to mention, Other Mommy with Jessica Chastain. Like the studios, the major studios are involved in horror this year. I don't know what is going to land and what isn't, but I'm super excited about the smaller ones that are just peppering screens with horror movies this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So why don't you tell our listeners what we got lined up for them next month?
You got it. All right. So next month, we are going to do Whistle. So I know we brought it up on our anticipated. We're going to watch the film. Joe's going to not blow the goddamn whistle that he actually owns because I don't want to die. And we're going to unpack the film, and I'm really excited to sit in a dark theater and watch this. I have high hopes for it.
Yeah, sounds great. So what do you say, sir, that we start winding this one down?
You got it. You got it.
Alrighty, folks. So thank you so much for listening, and we really hope you enjoyed the episode.
Please help to support the podcast by giving us a 5-star rating and leave a good review. Look, this is our 10th episode, so for 9 previous episodes, you've heard me say we have to feed the algorithm. If it's not a 5-star review, then we get put on the trash heap. We're in the trash compactor in Star Wars. You know? But we don't get out of it. We just get crushed to death. So a 5-star review really does put us in front of as many listeners as we can. And we really do want to do that good work and bring horror films to as many people as we can. So if you can leave that 5-star review, we really appreciate it. Please support us any way you can. And that means subscribing and following us on Amazon, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and Deezer, and Audible, and Boomplay, or wherever you get your horror podcast fix.
And a quick reminder, we are now part of the Filmjoe Podcast Network. Just click on the link tree below in our show notes. There you'll find a collection of fun and exciting podcasts like the Filmjoe Podcast, the Meandering Movie Podcast, Fear on Film, Adventures in 80s Cinema, and more to come. So make sure you just click on that link below in the show notes and explore.
I mean, you are the busiest man in show business. Let me tell you something. It's so impressive. All right. Where can you find us? Well, you can find me over at Macabre Daily. Or if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at SEANOC, the number 32. That's at SeanOC32. I have my Macabre Daily stuff there for paper cuts. I am going to have my Fear on Film article links there as well. So check me out, why don't you? And then always feel free to check out the Macabre Daily website.
Also, don't forget to check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, and in our YouTube channel, where we have all of our regular episodes drop as well. All of this stuff can be found in the link tree below in the show notes.
And you can also contact us directly by email, and that's at fearonfilmpod@gmail.com. We'd absolutely love to hear from you.
So, with that being said, I'm Joe.
And I'm Sean.
And this is Fear on Film,
where horror lives.